that the tender system has been designed so that companies and government are able to do business with service providers and be able to identify a capable, skilled, experienced service provider to provide that particular service. So here are 8 things that you need to make sure that you comply with if you want to stand a chance for your tender to be actually valid and progressive. There's compliance that you need to comply by in terms of the tender system. One, make sure that your company is registered. So have a registered company. You can register your own company through CIPC. So if you go CIPC on the website, and then you are able to register as a customer, and you can register your own company. If you want the service provider to actually do that for you, you can be, but then you must be prepared that there will be an extra cost for their time and expertise in terms of that. Once you have registered your company, you need to make sure that you have a valid tax clearance. What is nice now is that within the system of CIPC, when you register a company, then the SARS registration is done automatically, meaning there is less work for you and it's less money if you're going to be using a service provider to do that for you. But make sure that the certificate that you have, SARS certificate, it is valid. It is valid each year. You need to make sure that you renew your certificate, you have renewed the certificate. So make sure that it's still valid. Because if it's not, and you put in a tender, you will not be in the running. Your tender document, they will just put it aside. So make sure that your SARS certificate is a valid one. Thirdly, make sure that you have a certificate, a triple BEE certificate, right? You can be able to do an affidavit, which you take it to the Commissioner of Oath, and then they stamp it and they sign it to say, yes, this is your company. Yes, within your company, maybe you've got 51% or more owned by Black. That means you qualify for 11.1 when it comes to triple BEE. So make sure that you have a triple BEE certificate as if it's required for that tender for you to put in. And then fourthly, make sure that your company you have registered on CSD. What is CSD? It's a central supply database where government requires for people that want to do business with them to be registered. So when you register, there is a number that you're going to get in terms of your registration number, and there's also a report that you're going to get, which will be required for you to print out and you attach. Within the CSD website, you are able to, CSD registration, you are able to list the services that you do, whether it's 5 core services that you can provide and so forth. But make sure that you are registered. It is free to register. You can register yourself, csd.gov.za, or then you can get a service provider to do it for you, like I do it for other companies as well. So you can acquire services of a service provider, or it's something that you can sit and do it for yourself. And why not? So you can learn how it's done. Once you have that particular registration, then the report you're going to be attaching it within your tender documents. Now, you have identified the tender. We're assuming you have identified the tender that you want to apply for. If you're a person that don't even know where tenders are advertised, go to municipality websites, government websites, companies' websites. There will be a tab that says tenders, then you'll see open tenders. And then you can go through and look at the one that you want to bid for, the one that you have the qualification, the experience, the expertise, or if it's just a quotation where you can just get them a price and you're able to supply for that. So that's where you can get the tender listings from. So once we have identified, look at the requirements. Where can you get the tender document? Is there a fee attached to that? Remember, the fee is non-refundable. So when you go and you acquire or you get a tender document, that money will not be coming back to you. So whether it's 1,000 Rand or 500 Rand, That's the money that you will go and you pay, you get your tender document. Within that particular document, there are important terms and reference of what is required for that particular tender that you need to fill in if you have to do a proposal, and then you have to do that. And also it has declarations that are very important. You have to declare if there's no conflict of interest for you to actually do business with a certain government office and so forth. So you need to declare, conflicts of interest within those documents. Now, please note this. You can do all that, write your proposal, have all the documents. But if the tender has stipulated that there's going to be an official briefing meeting and you do not attend and you do not sign that register, you might stand a chance of you not being able to bid for that particular tender. Even if you do that work, you go and you submit. When they look at the list of companies that actually attended the briefing meeting, and then your tender might not, because that's the day where you will get to ask questions, get clarity, so that way you can refine your proposal, you can refine even your costing, what needs to be done, you can refine. So it gives you a chance to actually engage with the people that have advertised that particular tender. So make sure if you can't go, get your partner to actually go in your place. Make sure they sign also the register and they put in the name of the company that you guys will be using. So make sure of that. Now, let's come to the scoring. This is number 7. Number 7, the scoring of tenders. People always have the assumptions, and people have their thinking of how this should be done. But the scoring, number 7, is the scoring of tenders. Although it differs in terms of the scoring when you look at different tenders, but there's 2 core components that they look at. One is functionality. Under functionality, they might look at capacity. So does your company has the capacity, the resources, the capital that is needed to actually deliver that work? And also under functionality, they'll be looking at the previous work that your company have done. So if you have done similar work and even bigger work than that, put it in there, and also put references so that if they want to confirm with the people that you've provided that service for in the past, they are able to do so. So there is capacity. They want to know if your company is capable and able and have the resources and have the capital to actually do the work. Also, under functionality, then they will look at the team that will be doing the work. So now you need to submit CVs of yourself and all your team members that are core in terms of doing that particular work. So they are able to assess, do these people have the right skills and qualification to actually deliver the work that we want done. So make sure that your CVs are attached, your CVs are up to date, and you attach everything. You can even attach maybe even certificates, so to actually prove and to make sure that you give yourself a greater chance that you have the capacity. Your teams are experienced within the particular work that you are bidding for. So there is functionality. And then another component of scoring within the tender system will be the pricing. Now, they will look at people that have, they've checked your compliance, you've got all your registrations, you've got all there is attached, your functionality, you've got people that have expertise and so forth. Now when it comes to a pricing, they will look at people who are still left in the running. Maybe they started off with 50 companies, now they're sitting with maybe 5 companies. Then they will put those and look at the scoring in terms of the pricing, in terms of who has the lowest cost. Because remember, companies, whether it's government or private or whoever, even individuals, they always look at where can I get this done at a lower cost. So government is also asking themselves the particular question: who is capable of doing the work? They've looked at your functionality in terms of scoring, capacity. You've got company is experience, you also has experience. But now when it comes to cost, who has the lowest, right? And that's the person that might be score more in terms of the overall, and they get the tender. But now please be careful. Do not underquote just for a mere fact of getting a tender, because when it comes to actually doing the work, you might find that you are unable to deliver because you have undercosted yourself so that you get the particular tender. So make sure that your costing is done right. Look at if there are things that you're going to be renting and so forth. Do the actual quotation of how much. Don't just estimate as we are rushing to fill in the tender. Do the actual estimations or the quotation to the people that if you get the tender, you will acquire those from. Then they will tell you for these things will be an X amount. Look at then, okay, how much markup are you going to be adding up? So look at all those particular costs. And also remember, when you are costing your services, you are putting in your timelines and so forth. Allow also for time where you find that there's rain, there's what. So that don't just put in, oh, this project is going to take 6 months. Not taking into consideration the weather changes, not taking into consideration things that could happen. So allow enough time for you to actually do that work. There's strike, we've got looting, we've got all these things that we have seen that might happen, and they might disturb the work that you are actually provided for you to do. So those are the things that are cool. And lastly, or in terms of the scoring as well, another, as I said, there are different kinds of scoring: the functionality, the pricing, and also then they could look at the person that is actually bidding for this particular work. Their company ID from this particular area. So let's say the work is advertised in eThekwini, they might look at this, is this the company from eThekwini, so that we prioritize people who are within eThekwini for them to get the work. Or if the work is advertised whether in Kandla or in other areas as well, they might have a scoring that looks at that. And also sometimes they might have a scoring that looks at the company itself. Is it owned by a percentage of young people? Maybe it gets a higher scoring. Is it owned by a percentage of women and so forth? But those will be stipulated within the document that you're going to acquire. So everything will be stipulated. All you need to do is just make sure that you are compliant, you have your registrations done. So you've got your company registration, you've got your tax clearance that is valid, you've registered with CSD, which is a central supply database, and you've got your report, you have attached it, you have acquired your tender document, you understand the terms of reference of that particular briefing, you have prepared your proposal, you have prepared your costing, you understand the scoring as well, you have attached all the necessary document, your director's CVs, your team CVs, experience, the work that your company has done in the past, and then you put all that together, you bind it, and make sure then the last one, which is number 8, submit on time. Submit on time. Guys, if you go where tenders are submitted on that particular day, you will see a movie. People running, people rushing to go and put the tender box. So give yourself time, because if they say the tender is due on the Friday at 10 a.m. and you come in 10:01, that box might be gone, might be closed. Immediately when that time hits, it's taken up inside the office or wherever it needs to go. So make sure that you just imagine doing all that work and all that goes into vain because you did not submit on time. So that's number 8. Submit on time. Give yourself enough time for you to actually go and submit the tender document on time. Lastly, make sure that you sign, you initial where you need to sign, and initial your document. So those are the 8 core things that you need to make sure. But the document, read it correctly, mark it, or write it down, all the compliance that are required for that particular tender, so that you make sure that you are not put out of the running by missing a mere tax clearance, maybe by missing a director's certified ID copy, just by that, and then you've done all the work, you've submitted, said, you know what, we've got the skill, we've got the capacity to do this, but then you just miss that one document, or even just signing the signature initially where you have to initial. So give yourself time and all the best in terms of doing business with big companies and also with government.